I want to talk to you today about these AI wearables, specifically this Plaud. This is the Pin version. There's also a version that is called the Note, I believe, and attaches to the back of your phone. I saw someone, maybe that dude that takes the Macintosh computers, his name always escapes me, and like makes them do things they're not supposed to, puts weird Linux on old ones and stuff. I think it was him that had the like rectangle version that goes on the back of your phone. I was like, that's pretty interesting. I liked the idea of this Pin better, so I went ahead and got one of those, which opened a rabbit hole because now I have devices from 3 different manufacturers. I want to talk about this one today. I'm really excited about this one. This one seems to be put together the most. It seems to feel most like a commercial product right now. This bundle comes with the pen and then the accessory pack. I currently have it on the watch band, which is magnetic. That's why there's no prong or holes. It's just this light little thing. Let me put it on my wrist. Now I have pretty big wrists and I have a little bit of room to spare there. And it's a great little thing. To use it, you're just gonna long press it and it gives you a little vibration to let you know it has started recording, and then it's recording. To stop, you just do the same thing and it'll give you another vibration pattern. I think it's 1 vibration to let you know that it has quit. It then interfaces with an app. Right now it's on iPhone, I believe, and Android. I'm using an iPhone and it just works great. So let's take this off. Now, I am going to complain here for a second. The watch band I have had fall off in the past week 3 times because it's a magnet. So all you got to do is get it caught on something and it just, like I've caught it on the edge of the table or my clothes and it just comes right off. Of course, it's not doing it now on camera, but it's just a magnet holding it. So if you're like moving, it just falls right off. I do have big wrists. If you had smaller wrists, you'd have much better adhesion. Just something to think about. But there are other ways to wear it. We just pop it out here. And see, it's the band's magnetic, but so is the thing itself. It's just a nice little guy. You know, it's about the size of my thumb, the size of a normal person's thumb. A little bit smaller than my giant thumbs. But so the back is magnetic, and you can also use that as a pin on your shirt or whatever, which is pretty cool. And that's also how you get to the charging port. Now, this isn't waterproof, but it's water resistant. I imagine this is the weak spot. The one thing I don't like about this one is it does have that magnetic thing. So it uses a proprietary charger that's then USB-C. Now, that is nice because it takes a lot of the charging circuit out and puts it over here and stuff. You know, it's got quite a bit of battery life and standby. And even when you're using it, it's surprising at how well it records. But you just do that and then USB-C. I wish it had a USB-C port, but again, that would probably add to the size and interfere with the water resistance some and all that. So it is what it is. Put it back in the watch here. Well, no, let's wait a second. Let's look at the accessories. You also get these other options with the accessory kit. If I can get it open. That I have not used. There is a clip, so you can change that magnetic backing. And you can have it as a clip, which that's a really strong clip, man. That would secure it much better. You could clip that to your lapel or whatever. Good grief, that's a strong magnet. So put that back here. And then it does come with like a lanyard thing. Put this back on. There's the little lanyard deal right there if we'd focus. And then you can put that on there and wear it as a necklace. I've seen a lot of people say they wear it as a necklace. So what do you actually use it for, right? Like educators, my wife said she wished she could use it at school. So when students say something and then she writes them a detention or whatever, and then they're like, I didn't say that, Miss Mercer, blah, 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 blah. At the school she was at before she was at now, some kids claimed that she called them the N-word, and she doesn't even swear. She physically and violently reacts when I swear, like recoils. So she would never say that word. And the school that she was at the time tried to throw her under the bus and wanted her to apologize to the students. But one of the faculty was like, no, she would never say anything like that. I've worked with her in the concession stand and doing sports and stuff, and she would not say that. So finally they brought the kids in and interrogated them, and 2 of the kids crumbled immediately and were like, yeah, our friend made us say that. She didn't say that. If teachers had something like this and were allowed to use it, like that would immediately solve that problem. You could just play the transcript. Nope, here's what I said. Here's what your student said. And then the parents would not have to like ask for a head. They could be like, oh, we're so sorry. Our son's an idiot. So that'd be one use if you were allowed to use it there. That would depend on your work. But real estate agents could use it. They could just record while they're talking to a client or while they're showing a house and kind of go back and go through it. That way they're not having to take notes, and they can be like, oh, so they said this, they're looking for this. Oh, they didn't like that, so I won't show them this house. You could do stuff like that. Creative workers like me, they're creating things. I can just be like, bloop, and I can tell it some stuff. And then, at the end of the day, look and like, oh yeah, that was a good idea. Let me explore that further. Doctors could use it as long as they were within compliance of, whatever laws like HIPAA and stuff for specific things. Maybe they're, I don't know, like, oh, I need to talk to my colleague about this, or me and my colleague are discussing this and it's not discussing patient information. So let's go ahead and record that and have a transcript. A little bit out of order here. I will say, because this has a magnet, if you have a pacemaker, this is not for you. This has a very strong magnet that is not compatible with pacemakers. Sorry, I would not recommend it if you have a pacemaker. So I was talking about the transcribing, right? Excuse me. At the time of recording this, you get, I think, 300 minutes a month for free. I paid almost immediately for unlimited because I saw the utility with this, and we'll talk about what I'm using it for in a little bit. But you get the 300 free minutes of transcription, I think, a month. And then you can upgrade for either, I think, $79 a year to get, I don't know, some other amount like $1,000 or $1,200 or something. And then you can get unlimited. And I think that was about $200 something a month. Those prices are subject to change, so it doesn't really matter what I tell you they are right now. Just go to the website or pop open the app and it'll tell you. This was about $169 when I got it. It seems expensive, but the battery on this thing lasts forever. It's a 270 milliamp hour battery, and it does have 64 gigabytes of storage on it. So you can record a lot of audio before you have to kick it over to your phone. For kicking over to your phone, you can do it real slow with the Bluetooth, or it can set up its own little Wi-Fi network, which is, I think they call it fast transfer or something. And it really does. It kicks it over at like a couple hundred, or 100 to 150 kilobits per second. Kilobits or kilobytes, I forget. But it transfers really fast that way. Even on Bluetooth, it's not a big deal. It transfers pretty fast. When you transfer the audio over and you send it for transcription, they're like template options. You get some of those templates by default. Apparently, it can do audio to text in over 112 languages. I haven't tried that because I'm not really around anyone that speaks other languages. And my German is very wanting. My father came here in 1953 from Germany with my grandmother. So my German's nicht sehr gut. It's not very good, but I've not tried that, and I imagine it worked pretty well. The personalized summaries that it does are great. I told you I'd talk about use case. So my wife and I used this the first couple of times since I work from home and I'm alone all day. I don't really have a reason to use it other than to take some notes for me. We used it in our trip to go to the grocery. The grocery is about a half hour each way. And we just recorded our conversation on the way there and on the way back and transcribed it. And it was great. It picked out quotes, some things my wife said, some things I said. It had some AI recommendations of things that we didn't conclude in our meeting. And, we discussed some big life changes we're thinking about making that I don't really want to talk about yet because I don't want to jinx it. But we were talking about those, and it gave us very concise notes and even recommendations. Oh, follow up on so-and-so with this. Think more about this, research this. It blew our minds immediately. I was like, as soon as I use the 300 minutes, unless something horrible goes wrong, I'm upgrading to premium. And then we did that, for our drive to church and back and the grocery again. And we read a few nights a week sitting on the couch. I will read a book out loud to my wife. Usually it's something religion related for us. And we did that, and it took beautiful extractions from that transcript. And then we have that transcript there too, or the audio file. And that's invaluable to us. We love it because we'll talk about things, but we cover so much territory in a conversation that we often don't remember half the stuff we talked about. And now we have a transcript and we can go over it when we get home from church or the grocery or whatever. And then we can sit there and, oh yeah, so let's follow up on that. Oh yeah, that was kind of a weird tangent. We don't need to worry about that. And it's already making an improvement in our life. And I can only imagine people that are in situations where they're in meetings and they're like, hey, everyone, I'm going to record this meeting if that's okay. And then they record. Just how invaluable that would be. Or if you're meeting with a client for sales, or you're a consultant and a client's trying to tell you something, you can just be like, hey, I'm going to record this if that's all right. Get their approval because that's the cool thing to do. And then, yeah, when the meeting's over, you go, okay, and you can go through that, and you've taken some notes yourself, but you may have missed something where a client wants a very specific thing that you didn't write down, or they've stated they don't want something. And this is going to be invaluable for that. Like, oh, and just our conversations. And, you know, when we go visit family, we can sit there and be like, hey guys, we're going to record this. Let's talk about such and such. And then just kind of sit there, like almost like as a party trick or something, and go through and see the things. And it's like grabbed quotes that my wife has said, or that has come from the text we're reading. And you're just like, wow, that is really cool. I love this thing. I wish they had a better watch option. This white thing that it comes with is okay. I've been wearing it. I don't really mind. But I wish there was something that was a little bit more secure. I like having something, you know, even like on the Apple Watch, when you use the one that uses the peg, that can fly off. I've had my Apple Watch fly off a bunch. Now I'm using a fitness band thing that's got sensors in it, so it doesn't do that. But it would be nice to have something that maybe even just a longer version for people with big wrists, so the magnet had more purchase, because you only had like that much on my wrist, and that's not a lot of magnet to hold it. But the magnet's, you know, pretty legit. It's just, if you have big wrists, it's not really your friend. Oh, that was kind of cool. It stood itself up. Oh, well, even just this real quick. Like the USB cable it comes with, USB-C cable, like it's nice and braided, and like there's a nice little attention to detail here. I imagine they're selling these pretty close to a loss, which is just impressive. They also have a cloud feature you can turn on, so you can kick your stuff to the cloud, so it's not on your phone or it's not on the device. I'm just letting it store in the cloud. I'm not putting anything on there sensitive that I don't mind, you know, existing online. Some people have that privacy concern. They are, you know, encrypting it and everything. I'm comfortable putting my stuff in the cloud. I have faith in their encryption. This company seems really cool. They've really got their act together. But yeah, I've rambled a lot. This is probably one of my longest videos in a while, and I know it's boring. You're just looking at this thing, but it's like, what do you want to see? My ugly face while I talk about it, right? I'm still trying to figure out use cases for this. I found 2. And again, it was enough that I immediately paid for premium when I hit my free minute limit. As long as this thing sticks around for years and years, I will continue to get new iterations of it and use it, because this is invaluable and this is the future. And these kind of devices are fantastic. It would be nice if they would eventually add like an assistant feature. There are other devices out that operate similarly, but they don't do necessarily what this does. Instead, they focus more on being an AI assistant. I wish this had that assistant setting. Considering they just got this device out, I imagine something like it's probably in the works. I'm going to give them that feedback, that I really like that other product assistant feature where it'll pick out things. I wish this had that, but I'm sure it'll come in time. The more offerings they add to this product, the more robust the ecosystem becomes and stuff. So let's give them some time. But yeah, that is the Plaud AI. I will have a link to this in the description and the sticky comment. I don't have a coupon code for you. I just really like this thing. This thing is super neat. I'll see you guys in the next video.